All right, college football and stuff here. It's the start of bowl season. Our regular season is all done. Didn't do great in my conference championship week picks, but hopefully I'm going to be able to make up for it a little bit in and off the season with the bowl games here. At any rate, I think I should end up well over 500 on my picks for the season, which is really all I can ask for. All right, I'm gonna be going over sort of, I guess, like the first half of the bowl games here. Everything leading up to the bowls right around New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Starting off first, have a game coming up on the 21st on Monday. That is App State versus North Texas. That's 2:30 on ESPN. App State, a 21-point favorite. I think App State is a really good team. I do think North Texas is decent, though. They've played a bunch of close games. 21 points is a lot of points. I'm going to go with App State minus the 21 here. I'm very, very tempted to take North Texas here. North Texas has been playing people close. I do think App State is really good. They had that sort of one down game where they did not play very well against Louisiana. I think they're going to come back. I think they're going to try to end the season strong. Give me App State in a blowout win in that game. Give me App State minus the 21. Moving on to Tuesday, the 22nd. First up, we have Tulane versus Nevada, 3:30 on ESPN. Tulane, a 3-point favorite. Really like Tulane. I think Tulane is a very good team. They've played really well. I've been impressed with Nevada also, but I think Tulane is a better team. They've played more games. They've been more consistent, I feel like. Give me Tulane minus the 3 easy. I think that's a good bet there. Then we have UCF and BYU, 7 o'clock on ESPN, also on that Tuesday, the 22nd. BYU, a 6.5-point favorite. I do think UCF is a good team. BYU has played very well, though, has been able to score points, have gotten some nice blowout wins. I think BYU is the better team than UCF. Give me BYU minus the 6.5. I really like that under a touchdown. Moving on to the 23rd, Wednesday, we have Louisiana Tech versus Georgia Southern, 3 o'clock on ESPN. Georgia Southern, a 6-point favorite, and La Tech, really rough. I think it was the last game they played in. Very end of the game, I picked them to keep it close with TCU, and they were not able to. And then their starting quarterback had a pretty rough injury. I think he broke his leg or something. Anyway, I do not think he's going to be there for this game. The very end of that TCU game, I've liked Georgia Southern. Give me Georgia Southern minus the 6. I think they get it done. Later on the 23rd, we have Memphis versus Florida Atlantic, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Memphis, a 9.5-point favorite. And I think that's a little bit too much. I've liked Memphis. FAU has also played pretty decently. I do not think Memphis is as good as they have been the past years. I've said that a few times in these pick videos this season. I think Memphis is probably the better team, but I think 9.5 points is too many. I think it should be about a touchdown. Give me FAU plus the 9.5 there. All right, so I don't know how I did it, but I missed a game, so I'm adding it in here. On the 24th, we have Hawaii versus Houston, the New Mexico Bowl. That's 3:30 on ESPN. Houston, a 13-point favorite in that game, and I think I like Houston. Now, Hawaii has played a few good games, but really they've been a team that has played much better at home, and I think part of that I chalk up to teams having a very long trip to go out there and play, and then all the extra distractions, I'm sure, of traveling in this crazy season. I do think Houston is probably the better team. I've generally liked them this year. Give me Houston minus the 13 points in that one. Moving on to the 24th, Marshall versus Buffalo, 2:30 on ESPN. Two teams that I picked to win and win pretty big in their championship games. At least Buffalo I picked to win pretty big. I picked Marshall, I think 5.5. Neither of those teams got it done. Both of these teams coming off really kind of tough games. That's 2 games in a row for Marshall where they have not looked great. They had a few games canceled, and since they've come back, their quarterback has not played well. Threw 5 picks in the game against Rice, that was a loss for them, and then just could not get it done against UAB. I mean, I was super happy for UAB. I really like UAB. That was a great win for them, really like a program-defining win. Getting their second conference championship since returning as a program only 3 or 4 years ago. That's pretty amazing. I'm going to take Buffalo minus the 3 in this one. I am still fairly confident in Buffalo's offense. Marshall having struggled these 2 games in a row, it might be a recency bias getting me here. I think if this had been a few weeks ago, I would have taken Marshall plus those points easy, but I do not trust Marshall's offense. We'll see if they can get things back together. Give me Buffalo minus the 3, though. I may regret that one. I do think Marshall is a good team. If they get things figured out, I think they could win big in this game, but I'm going to take Buffalo. Moving on to the 26th. First, we have Liberty and Coastal Carolina. 12 o'clock on ESPN. Coastal Carolina, a 6-point favorite. And man, I've really liked Coastal Carolina. If you watch these videos, you know I have talked about Coastal Carolina several times. I think they're a very good team. I do not think they should be that big of a favorite against Liberty, though, who has 1 loss to NC State, a super tight loss. I think they lost by a point in that game. They beat Virginia Tech. I think Liberty's a pretty good team. I do like Coastal Carolina more, but Liberty has won or played close with some really good teams. Give me Liberty plus the 6 points in that. I would like to see Coastal Carolina win that game, but I do think if Liberty loses, they keep it close. South Carolina versus UAB, 12 o'clock on ABC. UAB a 5-point favorite. And, oh man, yeah, that's tough to pick a group of 5 over a power 5 like that. Even South Carolina, who has not played great, had that big win over Auburn, but really not much else that they really did super well this season. And I mean, Will Muschamp got fired because their team didn't do so good. UAB coming off a huge win, have a great head coach. Now there is talk that he is being interviewed for the Auburn job, which as an Auburn fan, I would be pretty happy with that. I think he's a very good coach. I think he's a good recruiter. I don't know if he's necessarily an upgrade from Gus Malzahn, but at least I wouldn't hate it if they hired him. We'll see if any sort of that, background talk, if there's any distraction there from their team, but I'm going to take UAB minus the 5 in that one. I like UAB. I think they can get it done. Louisiana versus UTSA, 3:30 on ABC. UT San Antonio has been a team I've liked. They have not been amazing, but they've just played very consistent. been good on defense, have been a team that has played some good teams close. They've lost a lot of those games, but they've shown fight in them. Louisiana is a 13-point favorite. Now, Louisiana Lafayette is a good team. Is under 2 touchdowns. I'm very tempted. I think about 2 touchdowns is pretty good, but UTSA has been consistent. They've played well. They've especially played well on defense. Give me UT San Antonio plus the 13. I don't think UT San Antonio wins, but I could see them keeping it to 10 points there. Western Kentucky versus Georgia State, 3:30 on ESPN. Georgia State, a 4.5-point favorite. I like Georgia State. Western Kentucky's been up and down. They were a team that was really good last year, have not been as good this year. This is a pretty small spread. I like Georgia State more. Give me Georgia State minus 4.5. Moving on to the 29th, Oklahoma State versus Miami, 5:30 on ESPN. Oklahoma State, a 3-point favorite. I was back and forth on this one. I think Oklahoma State has played better recently, but I still like Miami. I think Rhett Lashley is doing a very good job as the offensive coordinator there. We'll sort of see what happens. Miami coming off that absolutely horrible loss to North Carolina. We'll see if they can bounce back from that. Gave up a ridiculous amount of rushing yards in that game. Could not get anything done. Complete blowout. And Oklahoma State is a team that can run the ball. I took Oklahoma State at first and then changed my pick. I'm going to stick with my change here. I'm going to take Miami plus the 3. It's their last game with Derek King, who I think is a good quarterback. Hopefully he comes out and tries to show off a little bit in this game and they get a nice win. I'm probably going to regret this. I think Oklahoma State is the favorite for a reason, but I'm going to take Miami plus the 3 points. Last up for this video, it is Texas versus Colorado, 9 o'clock on ESPN, also on the 29th. Texas, a 12.5-point favorite. And I think Texas can get it done. I like Texas. I mean, they've had an up and down season as well. A lot of people thought Tom Herman was going to get fired. I think there's probably a pretty decent argument there as to why he should have been. Texas has elite talent in the state. They should be a lot better than they are. I think that comes down to Tom Herman, but in this game against Colorado, I think Texas has the athletes. They should be able to win that game easy. Give me Texas minus 12.5. All right, that's it for the first half, I guess, of the bowl games. I'll be covering the around New Year's games, the 30th, 31st, the first playoff games in another video coming out probably in about a week. So if you enjoyed this video, hit the like button. You want to see those last few pick videos, I'll be doing those, and then I'll be doing, of course, picks for a pick video, probably a little bit more in-depth one for the national championship, and that'll be it for the season. So subscribe to the channel if you want to see those, and I'll see you next time.